Welcome to another episode of No Handouts Podcast with your boy G. And on my right, I have my co-host for today.
What's good, y'all? Late night, Tracks up in the building.
Yes, sir. Tracks up. Let's get it. So shout out to Late Night. He just had a birthday, so please send him birthday wishes.
Thank you.
All the love. You feel me? He just had a birthday. He just turned 22, so you feel me?
22,
Show him a lot of love. No. You know what they say, man. You know what they say. But definitely, like I say, he did have a birthday coming up. We're not gonna disclose the age because you know what I mean. Like, if the women don't want to disclose the age, neither are we. So that's it. It is what it is.
I personally don't care, but whatever.
All right, man. So just kind of to start off today's podcast, bro. I kind of want to talk about that Kendrick diss.
I heard that
Drake and J. Cole. It's interesting to me that he started this because it kind of feels like what he did way back with what was the song that he did it on? Was it Pressure or I can't remember the one the Big Sean track where he kind of called out a bunch of people in the industry. Control. There you go. He called out a bunch of people in the industry, and some people took it, not so great. Some people were like, all right, it's cool. It's just rap. So now coming full circle. Now we see him dissing Drake and J. Cole, which is weird because him and J. Cole at one point, I thought were supposed to drop a project together.
I mean, I kind of did a little bit of research on it, right? And to me, of course, the control verse, that's like the most infamous verse.
Right.
I think the only one that really had a problem with that was Drake.
And I can understand it. Because it's like one of those things where I understand that people are just like, hey, man, it's boxing. It's a sport. You know what I mean? Like, you just throwing jabs.
It was like that the whole time.
You know what I mean?
That was what it was supposed to be.
It's one of those things, too, where it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to say somebody's name in a sense to use them, right? Like, because he didn't have to, but he used their name, right? And the verse was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because he decided to go out of the way and use, other people's names and stuff like that. So I kind of understand where he's coming from. Like I said, during the verse, he did show love. So I wouldn't have taken it that way. I would have taken it like, okay, he's just, throwing his little shots. It's cool. It's nothing. It's not a big deal. But I can also understand other people saying like, like you're trying to, you're trying to use my name to get a little bit of play. And I maybe he just wasn't appreciative of that.
I don't think it was like trying to use it for clout or anything like that. This was like for the control, at least. It was more so like hey, look, you guys need to step your game up. So everybody you heard on that song, step your game up. And Drake kind of just took that the wrong way. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, I think the last single that Drake had with J. Cole, that's where I think it was kind of triggering.
But why do you think it was triggering? As far as like for who? For Kendrick?
For Kendrick, yeah. Because if y'all don't know this, like a lot of people would never realize this. He hates Drake. I don't think he.
Well, there's no secret that after that there was never a lot of love between them. There was a lot of love lost because of that Control verse.
Yeah.
And even on top of that, like I said, it's crazy enough that it ended up on a Metro song because Metro is notoriously not a fan of Drake. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things.
That's just more recent now.
What is weird to me is that it was on a Metro and Future project. And Future and Drake are
cool.
Really close, right? So that's what's weird to me. And that's why I'm waiting to see what's going on with this story, like how it develops. But it's weird, ain't it? It's just kind of like, man, we did a whole album together. Now you're gonna switch up on me?
I don't know. I don't think it's Future's fault. I think
because at the end of the day, he's just an artist. He probably comes drop his verse, and then Metro Boomin is really the guy who's cutting up the verses, putting stuff together. You know what I mean?
But
so maybe he did
looking at it from a marketing outlook on this. It's like, all right, let's go ahead and do it because like people are going to talk, and obviously
you want people talking about it, right? Because that builds interest.
At the same time, it's like J. Cole's in the crossfire, and plus, like I mean, it's like when he said like, hey, look, it's the big three, like
But that's what I'm saying. He was showing props. He was showing love.
You're showing props, but then like Drake had to do his little light skin sneak diss like on that also.
Yeah, but you know what, man? So what part do you think was a sneak diss? Like what part?
Now, don't get me wrong. I love Drake, but I sat there like I'm not too much going into this record. So it's not like I listened to it, but I think there was a couple of shots, and I can't just like say from off of like the top of my head, like you know, on what those shots were, but it was just certain shots that were triggering to the point where Kendrick had to be like, nigga, there's no three. This is all me, son. And I think, if you know Kendrick's always going to want to smoke with anybody.
So I'm okay with that, but my thing is kind of like, how do you even like think that you're in the same like league as these guys when you drop one album every like 13 years? But or you drop a verse every like 5 years. So it's like, to me, it's kind of like you're not necessarily in that league, bro. Like the fact that they mentioned you, I think is like you should take that as a dub. And I'm a big Kendrick fan. I love Kendrick.
I love Kendrick too.
It's like, bro, like how can you disappear from the game like fucking, the last Airbender disappear for 100 years and come back and think like, okay, like the game owes me everything.
I got a different outlook on that, and I think more so of the fact that you got to look at the caliber that comes through with that. Remember, he still works with a lot of like big names. Also, at the same time, whenever Kendrick dropped, everybody's going to look at Kendrick. It's the same thing as J. Cole and the same thing as Drake. They're going to look out for it. You know, whenever Kendrick drops, I'm probably going to look out for it more.
For sure. But is it because you're more interested in it, or is it because, and I don't mean you personally, because I know you're a big Kendrick fan, but is it more because people are interested in it, or is it more because we haven't heard this dude in 15 years? Let's check what he's got going on. Because I'll be honest with you, like he dropped the album after 15 years, and there was some good stuff on there, but I was really like, I was kind of not the most pleased with what we got for him being gone for so long.
Well, remember, like Kendrick has like a different demographic from J. Cole and from Drake. For sure. So, and at the same time, Kendrick will go into like a lot of different lanes. So he'll go into like that boom bap lane, and he'll go into that hype lane. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get like different sides of Kendrick. Whereas like Drake, you're gonna get that lovey dovey R&B side, and then you're gonna get that hard like hip hop side from him. Right. And with J. Cole, it's kind of like you're gonna get the philosopher side, and you will get that like like hard style like side from J. Cole too. So each one of them have different demographics. Kendrick's gonna know how to get to his demographic, and he knows what song he can get on, and I think at this point he can get on anything he wants.
No, for sure. Like I said, he's kind of like I said, he's definitely one of those guys, like I said, who are his body of work is great. I'm never gonna sit there and say that he doesn't have like a really like tremendous, amazing body of work, right? But I've always felt like in this game, it's always about what have you done for me lately. You know what I mean? So like if you're kind of like nowhere to be found, people tend to forget you. Your name kind of does get, obviously your core fan base will always love you. And that's what, but he hooked like a lot of the in the grander scheme of things, right? It's like, could this be a play for clout?
I don't think it's a play for clout. I think this is more so of a look. You like, I'm not taking your sneak dicks bullshit. That's that on at least more so the Drake side. Okay. It's just J. Cole. He's in the crossfire.
Right. So Drake has been notorious for the last year or so.
He has been notorious to a lot of people.
To shoot his shit, to say his shit lately. Right.
He even did that to Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. Yes, and A$AP Rocky had to sit there and be like, you sick, yo. Get the hell out of here. Like, stop talking about my woman.
So here's the thing.
And she not even talking about you.
No, but here's the thing, right? I feel like a lot of people use Drake, right, in a sense they almost use him like, okay, like we know this is Drake. We know he's used to like dealing with like being like kind of played in the public eye, right? Like there's stuff like, when like he tried to kiss Rihanna like on live TV, and she kind of like gave him the but they were low key kind of together, and like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, get that part. There are moments like that where you're like, he's been through it, like he's taken these shots, and it's like, okay, you know what? Now I'm shooting everyone who's in range.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's shooting for people who's in range. But a lot of these guys, it's not even warranted. I can say it for Kendrick, it's not. I don't even think it's warranted. It's just like, yo, you keep talking about me. I'm with the shits. I'm with the smoke. Mm-hmm. Yo, you're gonna get the smoke every time you keep talking.
I don't know, man. It's like
even then, I can actually say with Rihanna, she hasn't said anything about him.
Well, no, she never comes out and she never says anything about him.
No, she hasn't said anything.
But like I said, their relationship to like because
there was a big relationship.
Here's what I'll say, right? I feel like sometimes saying nothing does more damage to the other person than just being like, "Hey guys, that wasn't the situation," right? And like I feel like artists are very good with like, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything to play up this whole situation and make people look crazy. And I still kind of maintain that level of like, I didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying?
I still got to sit there and be like, Drake is still out here taking the shots because of like, you know, where he's at right now. Mm-hmm. You know, he's going to go out there and taking the shot because more so, I think he wants to take the shot.
For sure. No, but, I mean, it gets to a point where it's just like, listen, everybody's getting a headshot. You know what I mean? Like, that's totally do it. Like, cause trust me, if I had a chance like to be like, hey, look, I'm gonna say something about this because of the fact that like, yo, it's either there or I don't like it or you did something to me even in the past. I'm gonna let you know. Right. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, so Kendrick decides he's gonna like say something, and then everybody's got to take it as playful and just like, you know, sparring.
I'm not gonna hold you.
But then Drake does something like that, and it's kind of like, oh, that boy taking shots, that boy doing too much, and it's like
it's weird. It's weird.
You get what I'm saying? Like it's like
I get it, but
you can't chop that up to competition.
It's weird though because the way Drake kind of does it with Kendrick at least is kind of like a look. I'm letting like a handout out of like friendship for you, but I'm not gonna hold you. I like, yo, I'm still gonna have like some animosity. Whereas Kendrick is like, nigga, I hate you. I hate you.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's so like hypocritical compared to what he said. Like, oh, this is just sparring. This is just, you know. But then it's like you have like now you have this disdain and hate for somebody. And it's like, but you started this.
No, but I don't even think it. Like, because it was kind of like again to the control. It's like, yo, step y'all game up. Drake is like, I don't like that. Oh, word? You just fell into the trap. Yo, I'm telling you, step your game up or else. And it's like he keeps, and it's like, yo, hey, look, I'm disdained about like you saying something about me. Nigga, I wasn't even trying to say something bad. If you're gonna sit there and try to say that, all right, now I'm not dealing with you like that. No.
But like, I say it like this.
If you sat there like to me like if I said something like about No Handout podcast, right? I'm like, yo, step your game up, right. and you're gonna sit there like, yo, why the hell are you doing this? And it's like, I'm like, bro, I'm not even trying to say something bad. Right. We gonna keep going. I'm gonna sit there and be like, yo, we gonna keep going like this? Right. Nah, we not. I'm not. Yo, right. I'm gonna get disdain about this now. You don't want me to hate you. That's how I kind of see it as.
I mean, I kind of see where you're coming from with it. Like I see it. And like I said, I think
over the years it went sour.
I think supremely these are three talented motherfuckers, and I would rather see them make music together than to do this. But I mean, for the sake of music, for the sake of like having something to watch, this isn't horrible either.
I'm enjoying this.
I'm looking forward now to, okay, like if this is a sparring match or this is real, like I'm looking forward to it now. Yeah.
Let's just hope it doesn't go overboard. Like, yo, somebody gonna have to throw hands. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No.
But these
dudes are too big. They you know what I mean, they move in different ways. I don't see no physical altercation. Like, could you imagine? Like, listen, Kendrick, for all intents and purposes, you know what I mean, great rapper, small guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, Drake looks like a Dominican bouncer. Like, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
I think he's tall, but at the same time, look at where he's from. Kendrick's from Compton. Drake is from Toronto. I'm not going to doubt that there's no ghetto in Toronto. I'm not going to doubt that at all. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I mean, I guess his father's from Memphis, so I mean, he's got to have that. But like, I'm not gonna hold you. I'd be scared to go up against somebody from Compton rather than from Memphis. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to. I'm from the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, I've always been in Hartford, so like I know my way around. But
that's tough.
Hey, look, man.
I don't think it'll get physical.
A nigga from New York, I'm gonna get scared.
I don't think it's gonna get
physical. Somebody from the Bronx or from Harlem, hell, even from Harlem, I'm probably gonna get scared from. I'm not even gonna hold you. So you get what I'm saying? Like, yo, the animosity is just like kind of like right here, and here. Like, yo, it's there. Like, I don't think I'm wrong when I'm saying like, yo, it's kind of like this keeps happening. Like there's gonna be a distaste from this.
So I mean, I don't know if like I was looking at it the other day, and they made a report that Rick Ross and Nav have reportedly like unfollowed Drake and J. Cole. Right, so Nav, he, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard him before.
Yeah, of course.
I think he's got some dope stuff, right? But he's notorious for working with Metro Boomin, which is one of those guys on the side of Kendrick, right? That's not a big fan of Drake or whatever the case is. So I can see that.
I didn't know that part.
Going hand in hand. So a lot of the projects that Nav has done has been with Metro Boomin. They're very close.
They're from the same place. They're like he's from Toronto, Canada, like Drake.
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just is what it is. You know, I'm pretty sure they're not personal friends. You know?
No, I mean of course. Of course not.
I mean I hear what you're saying. It should be love for Canada.
There should be,
but
love.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't know. He really got his start with what's his name with The Weeknd. So I mean, maybe his loyalties lie there more than anything. But him and Metro Boomin have a really good like relationship where they work.
Yeah, no, I remember. I think they have like they got an album with each other.
They've got a few albums that they've actually worked on together. So my thing is, I can see that, but on the side of Rick Ross, like Rick, like, do you not understand what Drake has done for your career? Like, how dare you? Like, I'm sorry, like I don't usually talk like this, but bro, like, what Drake has done for the Wingstop. Lemon pepper, bald head eating motherfuckers crazy.
I'm not gonna hold you because I got that shit like yesterday too. I got it yesterday, yo. Damn,
bro. Like, let me put it to you this way, and I'm not even gonna like, bro. I'm not even scared to say this that his biggest hits have had Drake on it, bro. It's not even like he's been able to hold his biggest hits or with Drake. So how do you even come out your mouth if that's the case, we don't know yet.
We don't know because he never said anything.
We don't know yet, but it's looking kind of weird. Why do you unfollow somebody? Because in social media, that's like the ultimate like I don't fuck with you.
But I hate to focus on shit like that. I really do. Like if I unfollow somebody, there shouldn't be no focus on that.
But that's the game now. Before, it used to be like, yo, if you say something about a person, it's like, yo, that's showing that you don't fuck with them or whatever the case is. Now,
I'm with the smoke.
Now, the moment you unfollow somebody, it's like, what the fuck is going on here? This shit is weird. Like, that's kind of like, you know what I mean? And it's usually, and I'll be honest with you, it's usually rooted in something.
I mean, I look at it as like, I personally don't care if Rick Ross doesn't like unfollows Drake because Rick Ross, don't get me wrong, he's probably had the biggest hits and everything like that. And yeah, the Wingstop stuff, that does kind of disappoint me because I love chicken. I actually do like Wingstop a little bit. And I just got it like the other day. But at the same time, if you kind of look at it, like, I don't think Rick Ross owes Drake anything. And even then, what does that do for Rick Ross? It doesn't do shit. So I mean, he can survive without Drake anyways.
No, he's at a point where he doesn't need anything from anyone.
No.
But what I'm
remember, like Rick Ross started without Drake.
He did start without Drake.
And even then,
absolutely.
Remember, Hustlin' was like a big hit too without Drake.
But that's probably his biggest hit.
I think there's more.
That's his biggest hit alone.
Oh. I got to do some research. But I see what you're saying.
His biggest hit alone. The next one, that if you want to load up,
because I'm not going to hold
Drake, right? The one Ashton Martin music.
The one. There's two verses that I love from Rick Ross. I think when he was on John or like Die Today with Lil Wayne, I thought that was the most firest like shit that I ever heard from Rick Ross.
Okay.
And then his verse on Kanye's Devil in a New Dress. I just personally love that song.
Okay.
That's just me like actually really liking that song.
Respectfully.
And he really killed that one. You know? I do like Rick Ross. I don't really have no fucks given when it comes down to like this type of situation. You unfollow somebody, I don't really care, but at the same time I'm looking at it as like I don't think Rick Ross owes Drake anything.
You're right, he doesn't. So why is this such a
why is it a big deal? I don't know.
Why would he go about that though? You know what I'm saying? Like if it's not a big deal, like I said, I don't know. I feel like truly, like I said, it might not be nothing. Like you said, it might not be nothing. It might not be anything.
If anything, it also could be like a spiderweb deal where Kendrick can go after anybody that's dealing with Drake too. Mm-hmm. There could be that also.
It's tough, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's tough. Like I said, the story's still developing. Like I said, the diss track got dropped maybe a little while ago. So like we haven't had much time to sit with it.
It's still heating up. It's still heating up. It's still in the premises, and then it's just gonna go. And then people are gonna forget it because a lot of the attention spans are like short.
Right. So let's see how this story develops. I'm interested to see. Like I said, because I've always, like I said, regardless of how big of a fan I am of Drake or Kendrick or Cole, I've always been a fan of some boxing. I've always been a fan of some going at each other.
Oh yeah, man! Like that,
I feel like that has produced some of the greatest records of all time.
That's actually something that's actually critical when it comes on to hip hop. I think like sparring when it comes on to hip hop, like is probably like a really good thing.
Right.
You know, let's just make sure it doesn't go overboard.
Like I said, let's see what happens. We got Kendrick's crunchy braids versus Drake's light skin animosity. Like I don't know. It's tough, bro. It's tough. Like I said, like I just want to see what's gonna happen here. I feel bad for J. Cole, bro. He's that one friend who's stuck in the middle.
Yeah,
he's like, bro, I don't want no beef with anybody. I was trying to show props to everybody.
He's caught in the crossfire. I don't even like because even then it's just being caught in the crossfire. I'm not gonna hold
He's
you.
just over there being his modern hippie self, and like they just not letting him rock, bro. So I feel bad for him more than anybody, but
I do too.
I'm interested to see if he decides to pick up the pen.
He could. I think he could.
And that's gonna be the fun part because it's like, okay, so now it's like we get to see what's up.
I think there was a source that said that he doesn't really care either.
See, and then it's like, so then where do we go with for me, that's not fun. That's not fun. I want to see them go at it.
I have a feeling Drake's not going to let it go, so he's going to do something.
He's not. Drake is very much in his, like, everybody's getting a headshot phase, so he's like, I'm coming back.
I think it's a midlife crisis.
And it's going to give him something to rap about, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's a midlife crisis, though.
Shit, like
it's definitely a midlife crisis, like vibes to me, personally.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah. No, and trust me, I do like Drake. I do like what Drake does. I as an artist, I do like Drake. I'm not gonna hold you. I do. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I personally don't give a shit. And at the same time, you're gonna have to let it happen. It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
I already know he's gonna make that move,
sure.
Depending on what move he's making, it could either be good or bad for him. It could be good or bad because we could have another like Drake versus Pusha T thing just with Kendrick, and I think Kendrick actually has like some really good modern bars in general. Not saying that Drake doesn't have it, Drake has it, but it could just be a little bit more.
I kind of want to see it because I want to see Drake tested. Like I want to see him actually go up against somebody that I feel like can really like go bar for bar verbatim, you know what I mean? Like, cause when it comes to Kendrick, like that's his whole thing.
Yeah,
like Drake has other stuff that he does, you know what I mean? So I feel like the bars or like the ability to do that has always kind of been in question. So I kind of want to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like he did it with Meek, but then again, it's like I always say, right? Like, yeah, he definitely killed Meek. Meek was never right.
Meek wasn't prepared for it.
He says that, yo, you know, I'm a battle rapper, but it's like your music ain't very battle rappy-ish, so like let's not even go there.
I think his flow. I think with Meek, his flow and some of his bars are reminiscent to battle rap. It's just like, you know, you kind of had to cater to like more of the pop crowd. But at that moment when like it was just they were squabbling, Meek just wasn't prepared. Right. I mean, he heard it and it kind of fucked him up. Right. Especially when there was a reference track for it.
So I feel like
it's just he wasn't prepared. Everybody else is prepared.
Himself, because I feel like if you're gonna go out there and put somebody's information
prepare
out there,
yourself.
You better be ready.
Prepare
so
yourself.
If you're not ready, it's because you thought it wasn't gonna be a big thing. Like you were just speaking out of anger. So then you
Drake
got
Drake got a green drum.
Clapped.
He's got the Midas touch. So you gotta make sure you're on point. That's why like Joe Budden, Pusha T, Common, they were on point with this because they knew it and
they understood. That this is not a guy you play with. Right.
Yeah,
this is not a man that you play games with.
We know how.
Like if you come for this dude, you gotta come for the kill every time. Right.
Come for him for the kill, and you'll be able to put him in his place at least because it's not gonna slow him down. Well, it won't stop him. It won't stop him.
He's where he's at. Like I said, nobody will be able to do anything with him. Like I said, and it's gonna be fun, man. Steel sharpen steel, right? So
remember, they're on the edge. Kendrick is on the edge. Drake's on the edge, and I'm gonna guess to say J. Cole will probably be on the edge very soon.
But let's see what happens, man. Hey, Rick Ross, you fat motherfucker.
Yeah.
You better watch that.
Hey, man.
So, yeah, man. Let's get into something. Let's get into something else. So we'll monitor that story as it develops and see what's going on with that. But that's interesting. Like I said.
Yeah. Did you hear what the hell happened for the past week?
No, I have not.
Bro, did you not look into Quiet on the Set?
This is the first time I'm hearing Quiet on the Set.
Yo, that was insane. Yo, it really ruined my childhood. I'm not even gonna hold you.
So for those who don't know, kind of explain what Quiet on the Set is.
All right, so it's a new documentary series about like what happened behind the scenes with Nickelodeon. I love Nickelodeon, and this is like a lot of the live shows that happen with them. So like
the older, like the all that.
Yeah, like all that. Drake and Josh, iCarly, like Zoe 101.
I've been watching. I've been a fan. Stop playing me.
Nah, I'm not gonna hold you. And I do love those shows. Yeah, even Kenan and Kel.
Yeah, Kenan and Kel, Fire.
So the person who actually like, you know, was executive producer on a lot of those shows was Dan Schneider, right? And apparently they trashed the shit out of him.
Really?
They trashed the shit out of him. Apparently he's not good to work with at all. And they put him on a high pedestal too. Nickelodeon put him on a high pedestal.
Did they really?
Yes. Like, yo, he's like he's kind of fucked over like at least 2 writers, right? Like these like it was almost like they were almost blackballed out of the industry for television, right? And he would like a lot of the stars on there. He would ask for like massages like from the kids.
See, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
that's
like.
disgusting.
Yeah, just and like a lot of the jokes were kind of very creepy, like jokes that he'd say like personally to them, or jokes that were that some of the innuendos actually got passed like on the shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I think.
But you know what? It's crazy. Like you're absolutely right. Like a lot of times there are adult jokes in kid shows
I didn't even
to the point where
it.
you're just like, right, as a kid, you never
I didn't
get
understand it at
You
first.
watch it back as an adult, and you were like, "What the fuck?
Is
Was
this
in
really
there
it?
the whole time?" Right? Was it in there the whole time?
Like the feet fetish thing. It was crazy. Like he had Ariana Grande
massaging.
massaging
I think she had a foot in her mouth at one point.
Yeah, foot in her mouth, like massaging, like kind of like double twisting the potato to milk it. He had gel like squirt on Zoe.
Hey yo, where's the publicist for Ariana Grande as a teenager? Like, maybe you shouldn't be squeezing potatoes.
I'm surprised she
on
didn't say
national television.
I'm surprised like she didn't say anything. There was a lot of stars that actually said something. And then like and it's not just Dan Snyder. Like apparently there was 3 pedophiles that end up making it like onto the job of Nickelodeon.
Oh, sure.
And it got to the point where like Drake Bell ended up getting like
sexually
assaulted.
So he says, okay, all right.
And he came out like nobody knew. Right. Nobody knew. I feel bad for Drake too.
Well, that's a scary part.
It's Drake Bell.
That's a scary part about like when it comes to like kids and movies and shows and stuff like that. Is a lot of times like, you know what I mean? They're around like certain people and you know what's wild, right? It's usually like these like people that you would think like these producers or these guys up there in companies that you'll be like, these are their cash cows. They I would imagine that they would treat them well and make sure that they're taken care of, and they're the ones taking advantage the most.
They really treated like these kids like dollar signs, and then threw them out. Like there was one kid out there, like you actually recognize him too, and it's like they treated him bad because he was black, right? And then his mom kind of seen like, yo, y'all kind of got these little racist jokes here. Like, what are you doing? She spoke out, and she spoke out to like a lot of the agents and everything like that, and they dropped him. He was trying to get his family out of the hood. So it was so bad.
You know what's crazy is it's dope that now we have more people that are conscientious and more like I said, the social media sees these things and they kind of put it in their place. It's a double-edged sword because I think sometimes it gets used in situations that don't need it. But I like the fact that we have these outlets for situations that, you know what I mean, are pretty wild and like that need to be looked at. So I feel bad for a lot of these kids, man. I really do. And I always ask, like, where are the parents in all of this, bro? Even if like the agents are just like, yo, this is a cash cow. I'm just trying to get paid, like whatever, do what they say. Like, where the fuck
even the agent was like, yo, don't do it or else like you're gonna fuck this up. Yeah, even the agent said that. And And even Amanda Bynes, like you see how she is now.
Oh, she turned out fucked up.
Yo, it really because of Dan Schneider. Surprisingly, Dan Schneider didn't really like they say that he didn't like rape it or sexually assault anybody. It never got that far with Dan, but it could have been. It could have been. You know, because it was just that bad. And trust me, like he looks bad trying to like kind of because he reacted to like the show. He's like, yo, I'm like it kind of was like a I'm sorry type of thing. But a lot of people are sitting there like, yo, you full of shit. Like I feel very bad, yo. Even,
I feel bad too. Listen, you know what? And I hate to say this, it's always like the you know, like you can't do that on a black Nickelodeon show. Like you can't do that, Kenan and Kel. Like you're gonna get fucked up. You can't do that shit.
Surprisingly, not a lot of people said anything.
Right, exactly, because you can't do that shit there.
There are certain people that said it.
Try that shit with Cousin Skeeter, nigga. Try that shit with
and
Cousin
I love
Skeeter.
Cousin Skeeter,
You
yo.
ain't doing that shit to Cousin Skeeter.
No.
But you know what I mean? Take Drake Bell, man, the Bynes, and you know.
It was wild. It was wild too because
happening over there.
Yeah, because they were sitting there like, yo, yo, Josh, why didn't you say anything?
Exactly. You think little Romeo and Master Peter getting played, bro?
Drake had to sit there and be like, yo, take it easy on him. He actually reached out to me privately, you know. And then I think it was Kevin Massey, you know, like his mom actually spoke out. Was like, yeah, Dan was a saint to us.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
Because she's like, so remember the token black guy on Zoe 101?
Yes.
Yeah. So his mom actually said like, nah, Dan Schneider was actually good.
You see what I'm saying?
But she's getting mad backlash. She's getting mad backlash.
But she's just speaking from a place of like, yo, that shit didn't happen to us. You know what I mean? But she probably put the foot down at the beginning, like, yo, you're not doing that kind of weird shit.
It, like Dan Schneider might have treated her nice, but even her son sitting there like, I will tell my story.
So he's got some tea to tell.
Yes. Even he's like, yo, I will tell my story.
So damn, you know what's crazy, right? And then it's like you can't even watch shit sometimes because of all of like the backlash that comes behind it. So you're just like, you feel almost bad watching it now, right? So like you can't really even watch Drake and Josh because you're like, damn, like he had such a horrible time shooting it. I feel bad enjoying something.
Yeah, yo, because he was in there like holding on to it. Like the court case, they sealed the court case, and he got fucked over from that too because the dude who actually like sexually assaulted him, it was the pickle guy on all that.
Oh my god!
If you remember him,
not the pickle guy.
Yeah, it was a pickle guy. Yes, Brian Peck, and you know what happened? He only got 16 months.
Oh god.
Because there was mad people in the industry that wrote letters toward his favor.
Because they have no idea. They have no idea what's going down.
And then after he got fired from Nickelodeon, immediately he went to Disney.
Ain't that bad?
That's messed up. Like he got the bad. Drake got the bad end of that. And
that's why
Drake wasn't even going to say anything. Like it was his girlfriend's like mom that said that figured it out.
Listen, kids in the industry, I feel like they're so like vulnerable, man. So like the parents need to be like a bigger part of that. Like this, it's scary. It's scary to me how people are just so willing to be like, okay, my kid is a star, and I understand that sometimes the kids are big advocates for like I got this, and maybe they don't say anything because they're like, hey, like I'm part of this big production. I don't want to drop this, and they're scared to lose it and stuff like that. But a lot of times
it needs to be said.
Man, these kids a lot of times they don't make shit on these shows. They're barely making minimum wage on these shows.
To be honest with you, they probably are getting a big penny, but like because of like the laws and like they actually have to have like a separate account, and the money has to go to that account, and the parents can't touch it. After what happened with Gary Coleman.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So here's the thing: it's like we've heard a lot of these stories of like people saying like, hey man, like when I was like, especially now on Drake and Josh, like I've heard like they're like, hey, dudes are making like $1,000. Maybe $2,000 an episode. Do you know how much money that show made? Like the entire Nickelodeon.
You're getting $1 million off.
Yeah, they had seasons, movies. Like that's $1 billion franchise. No, you're getting pennies on the. Yeah, and I understand that that's and I think it hits home. I think it hits home more, with you because you're in the music industry, and like I said, you have tracks up. So, you're very good with like treating people fairly, making sure everybody gets what they deserve and what they're due. But a lot of people don't do that. Like in any industry, like they're always trying to take advantage, or they're trying to cut. What's crazy is like they're always trying to cut the performer or the star like out of the most money. And that for me is just
you gotta know how to protect yourself, and sometimes that's not even easy. Like I had to deal with a situation which I'm not going to disclose on camera, but it's like, yo, you got to know how to protect yourself. Well, or else you can get like fucked over. It's just with this documentary, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm actually happy that this documentary like came out, because now they're gonna look at it and there might be like more changes that's gonna happen within the industry.
Right.
Like, but these kids walked while like the new kids are gonna run.
Though it sucks at this point, because isn't Nickelodeon like done? Aren't they? Isn't that like a done situation?
I don't know. I haven't looked at them in a minute, but like to be honest with you, they're still gonna be making their money. It's just like they're probably just gonna have to deal with these changes. Because even then, like Nickelodeon had to sit there and reach out and be like, "Hey, look, we don't condone any of these actions." Like,
no, for sure, like, but that's such a cop out, because they can just be like, "Hey, like we didn't know anything. We don't condone this. Like that's none of our. You know what I mean? We're gonna make sure we do what we do and protect our people." And it's like, bro, this shit was happening right under.
Bro, they had 3 pedophiles on there, and after the 3rd one, they had to like do background checks.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
The fact that there isn't background checks off the jump is crazy.
It's crazy.
Like, that's crazy.
I get it. It's back then, like before.
Like
before,
most jobs,
like
you can't get as a felon, and you're just in there.
That's the thing. Like, I think
working with kids.
This is back then, where it's like no cell phones, no internet, no. Like it was probably harder back then. So it was like easier to get away with like a lot of shit beforehand. So I mean, I get it, but like, yo, these things should have like happened, like, yo, like trying to do the background checks, trying to make sure like this doesn't happen, like all the sexual innuendos like shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Right. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Hey, shout outs to
shout outs to everybody that was
right, because like I said, for me personally, that was a big part of my childhood. So, shout outs to them. Like I said, I hope justice is served, because I don't think any child or a young person should have to go through that type of shit.
Oh,
like
never.
That shit to me is just like
never.
It's tough. But hey, shout outs to them. I like the fact that they're telling their story. I like the fact that this is coming out into light. But it just sucks, because we're so used to this now. Like, we're so used to like these stories coming out. You know what I mean? Way too late. You know what I mean? To actually make a huge difference. Like I said, they do make a difference in the future, which are great for everybody who's coming up. But, in hindsight, for those who came up in it, you know what I mean? It sucks because the damage has already been done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
At least they got to walk, so that way everybody in the future can run.
Absolutely. So, man, like I just found something on Twitter that I thought was absolutely hilarious, or X, whichever one you guys want to call that. I still call it Twitter because I'm behind on times. But people are substituting no homo with no Diddy.
Oh my God, that is no laughing matter. But Jesus
it's
Christ,
hilarious, bro.
Jesus, oh my, what? Yo, it got that bad for Diddy,
bro. Like it's everywhere. It's like, yo, no Diddy, and it's like, yo, man, my fault,
bro. That don't even
no
sound
Diddy.
right.
Like,
that doesn't even sound right.
It doesn't. But yo, shit like that, just like it catches us so
it gets
fast.
that bad
right?
though.
Listen. If anybody like in the industry, right, like starts using this no Diddy shit, like I swear it's gonna take over, bro. Because right now it's just a bunch. It's just everybody, right? It's just like the regular people. But I feel like if we start seeing Drake or something, be like, yeah, no Diddy, like it's a rap, bro.
Nah, but even
rap.
then, like, yo, Diddy gonna come after your top. No Diddy though.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So I don't know, man. It's tough, but like I said, like he's been having a tough year too, man, with all these allegations, all this crazy stuff.
I mean, I'm not
the
gonna hold
story
you.
about him and Usher fighting for cereal in a bed. Like I don't
what?
know,
That happened?
You didn't hear that story?
No, I didn't hear that story.
Bro, so there's a clip, right, where I think it was some sort of award show or some show, something like that. It was Kevin Hart, right? So he's sitting there and he's just like, man, like, shout outs to Usher, man. Like, I remember when we were kids, like, you know what I mean? We used to be in the bed fighting over cereal. And I think he heard what he said, but he said it too fast that it was already said. And, like, Kevin Hart is like, hold up, what? You doing what? Like, you know what I mean? And like,
what?
did he try to little bro him? Like, man, shut up, Kevin. Like, stop trying to play me.
Nah,
right
it's too
now.
late.
But
It's too late.
It's too late. The
It's
damage
too
has
late.
been done. You were fighting for Fruity Pebbles in the band. Like,
Damn,
it's a
man.
wrap,
Not even
bro.
a Cinnamon Toast
Not
Crunch,
even
though?
a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Maybe some Fruit Loops. I don't know, but like, it was some shit, bro.
I'm disappointed.
I feel bad. Listen, they need what was the name of the Nickelodeon documentary? Quiet on Set.
Quiet on Set.
Yeah, Quiet at Diddy House, because this shit is crazy, bro. Like, Diddy got too much going on, bro. Like, I really do feel bad for him.
Oh my god. What else is there? Like, cause you were telling me a whole bunch of stuff about what's going on with like celebrities going live, going crazy.
So a lot of celebrities have been lately. Like I said, I mean, we've been seeing this for a while now, bro. Like, celebrities get bored, they go on live, and they kind of don't know how to act, right? They're just like doing a bunch of crazy shit. I mean, during COVID, I think it was like the biggest, because that was the only way for them to like
get out content,
interact with their fans, right?
Yeah.
Now, like, we're still seeing it. Like, what I saw the other day was like, I saw Cardi like on live, you know,
I
like,
heard about this.
boobs out with, you know, just duct tape, and I'm just
You realize how many 13-year-olds probably was like that was like their best moment of like
hitting the little heart button, like, yo, what's up? And it's like, I mean, that's part of her brand, so I understand. Like, her brand has always been very sexual, and I mean, the shit she speaks about.
She used to be a stripper too. I remember that. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So she's always been around for that type of shit and stuff like that. So I mean, what's probably the craziest thing that you've seen on like celebrities on live, or at least that you've heard? Because a lot of this stuff, like I said, like, it gets deleted, but not everything gets deleted.
Man, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't be looking at people like celebrities live, because I'm sitting there like, yo, what's the point of that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I usually be seeing some of these clips. I'm like,
yeah, that's what I see.
Yo,
too,
sometimes
clips,
like I think Famous Dex was arguing with somebody. I forgot who. No, he was arguing with Soulja Boy. I remember that one. He was arguing with Soulja Boy. That was hilarious to me.
Right.
But I was just like, yo, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is the point of this? Why are y'all arguing?
Like, who the fuck is Soulja Boy? Like, you know,
yo, like like, yo, like this argument is pointless to me. Yo, why the fuck do I want to watch this?
That shit is up. But Cardi's live has always been kind of crazy. Like, there was that one moment I think with her
like,
and Offset.
Yeah, when they broke up, I felt bad for Cardi, because she really, like, you could tell that was a mental like moment, and she really felt bad. Like she was really mad at Offset.
Oh, I wouldn't imagine why she. I would imagine why she would be. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like,
he cheated on
with
you
somebody,
again.
you're having, you know, children, you got your home together, and then some shit like that happens. So I get it. Like, that's not within the realm of craziness.
That shit was like extreme. I look at it like, yo, why take your problems to the internet? You're gonna give them ammo to me.
But that's the biggest way to get people to attack him.
Did they really attack him though? I'm looking at it like, yo.
Well, not from our perspective, right? But like, a lot of her fans are just like, F him, So you get what I'm saying? Like,
I get that part.
Her situation is like, all right, like, I'm gonna rally my troops. You know what I mean? Just like Beyonce has the Beehive or whatever you call it. I don't even think
that's a right thing to do though. Yo, you gotta keep it pushing, like act upon like with behind the scenes instead of like.
I would personally keep it quiet, but I feel like a lot of these new age like celebrities and a lot of these people who are in positions like this and make music, they come from backgrounds that are a little bit like, you know what I mean? She's never been a calm person. Like, even from the moment like she stepped on the scene when she was doing Love and Hip Hop, like, she's always been, you know, very like outspoken and very just like, you know, like not giving a shit. So I mean, this is nothing new for her. This is something that she's always done. You know what I mean? So I don't see it as weird personally for me. Now, obviously, you would never see somebody like Beyonce do this, right? Beyonce's not gonna like, even if she has some situations. Well, she's had some situations with Jay-Z, but it's always been kept on the wraps
because she's never
been dealt in. You know,
she's never dealt with that pattern of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in the spotlight. Like I'm gonna go to social media. She's never been like that type of person.
Right. Exactly. Right.
You know. So like, to me, I don't really want to be that type of person where I'm just gonna go to social media to like basically tell my diary, like or something like that. You know, that's just me personally, because you're gonna give the internet like ammo. And the internet can be very demonic. They're gonna use that against you.
Oh, hell yeah, bro! Like I said, like that. Like I don't see Offset getting any like negative repercussions. Like I said, I don't know what she was trying to do, because at the end of the day, it's like,
nigga, you
knew who you married, right?
You knew who you married.
God, that's what I'm saying. You knew who you married.
I feel bad because the fact that she got cheated on multiple times. I do, because he shouldn't have done that. He like, yo, you got a wife. Like, take care of your family.
So let me ask you this, right? So, and I've always said this, right? Like, when you're in the industry, or you reach a certain level of clout or fame, right? I feel like it's advantageous for you, if you're one of those people who wants monogamy from your partner, to stay away from that.
See, the way I want to do that, if I had like a significant other, I would want to make sure that she basically is somebody that's not really in the industry, like,
right.
Right. It's definitely different from how you would go for it. Because if I had I already sat there and said that I don't want to really deal with singers or rappers or anybody in the industry, because if I want to work with them, I don't want to like overstep those boundaries. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's a boundary that's always going to be drawn. Right. That it's like, yo, we can't go more into like dating or trying to hook up or anything like that, because I want to work with you. I don't want anything to be messy, you know.
And more times than not, when it comes
when
to
it gets messy, it's
bro,
be
because
bad.
it's not even just celebrities. It's even people with a bit of clout. Like, this shit is always messy, because it's just. So I always say, like, to be in a good place, you should stay away from that. Like, if that's not the type of situation that you want, like, and I know, like, it's tough, because those are the people that you see most of the time. So, a girl that can get her hands on Drake, like, she would not hesitate to. But it's like, you got to understand what comes with that. Like, that's not a peaceful That's not a peaceful setting.
Now, that's just me personally. Like, there's other people that have done it before, and it's worked out for them. Sometimes you can have a good match with somebody that's like that. I feel like it's very few and far between,
though. I feel like it's very, very few and far between, and I feel like even for those people that we think are probably good, upstanding dudes, there's some shit in their past.
Oh no!
Maybe they're very good at.
Sometimes it's not the dudes. Right, like, sometimes the dudes on the fuck shit, and it'd be the women too.
And
like,
for sure, it'd be the shorties.
Yeah, so it goes hand in hand with each other. It's just that's just me. I just
look at the whole Tory situation with Megan Thee Stallion, right? Megan was doing whatever the fuck she was doing, taking people's man and all this other stuff behind the scenes, and it's like it's not necessarily the guys. I'm sorry if I made it seem insinuated like it was just the guys. But I'm just saying, like, any type of, like, celebrity interaction or any type of, like, clout-based interaction, I personally feel like if you want to live a peaceful and happy existence with your partner, stay away from that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. It's just,
to be honest with you, you can always find a way to make it work. Like, so it's just me personally. I'd rather have somebody that's, like, not in the industry.
Right.
And I don't mind if somebody's, like, it's like, all right, we not in the same area, because I'd rather deal with like music wise. And if you sit there like, oh yeah, you wanna go ahead and maybe go into like the media like wise, like cinematography or something like that, that's totally fine. I'll just stay out of it. You know what I'm saying? You work your lane, I'll work mine. You know what I'm saying? Or like, or anything like that, we can collab and let that be business. But I'll make sure that's strictly business.
It's just business is hard. Like I said, for them, I feel like business is very hard to keep business.
Yeah, trust me, it is hard.
Even in movies, right? Because like I said, like a lot of these movie stars are always constantly dating new people and like constantly, with somebody.
I don't know how they do it.
Getting married all the time. Why? Because it's like it's that lifestyle that attributes to meeting a lot of people. You know what I mean? Being away from your significant other for, months on end because they're doing what they're doing. So, like I said, I just think it's better if you want to live a happier life to stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes,
I actually agree, though. I actually do agree with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to sit there and be like, look, do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do. I mean, remember, again, going back to the topic, Cardi made her choice with Offset, and look what happened. Don't get me wrong. I think Offset is actually in the wrong on that, but you knew what you were getting into. Everybody knew what they were getting into.
Yeah, Offset be getting it. No Diddy, but you know what I'm saying. Like, You know what I mean? Like I said, like he's a famous guy. He's around a bunch of women. Like it's bound to happen. I feel bad for her, but she should know it was coming. All right. So, in all, like I said, it's a tough situation to be in. Feel bad for those people because obviously some people are really looking for that love, that monogamy. But it is an industry. It is a lot of shit. There's a lot of fake shit. Fuck people. It is what it is. My final thoughts for today's podcast is Kendrick dissing Drake and J. Cole. Interesting. Let's see what happens. Nickelodeon, not a great place to work.
Apparently, that really ruined my childhood. I can't believe that.
If you want clout as a celebrity, show a titty on live. You know what I mean?
Hey.
And anytime I do anything sus, it's a no Diddy around here. So, how about you?
I mean, shit. I'm looking forward to see what's going on like next when it comes on to Kendrick and J. Cole and Drake. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just, hey, look. If you get unfollowed, you get unfollowed. Not messing with it, Nickelodeon, you ruined my childhood. I'm not gonna hold you. My childhood is ruined. Man, and with all that going on, no Diddy. And celebrities, watch what you put on social media, please.
All right. Well, that has been an episode of No Handouts Podcast.
Yeah, late night here in the building. Tracks up. Find me on IG, late_night_3RD.
All right, I'm your boy G. Don't look for me, you won't find me. And that's been No Handouts Podcast. And we out.
Yeah.